in addition to creating the perfect shapes, as they're called here inside CorelDraw, which are accessible from the basic shapes tool over inside the toolbox, we actually have a huge amount of additional tools. We have arrow shapes, and do you do a lot of flow charting? Well, you've got flowchart shapes and banners and word bubbles or call out shapes. Now, I'm not going to show you every single one of these guys because we would be here for hours, but I will definitely kind of get you started, I guess. I'll start off with arrow shapes here. So once again, head over to the toolbox, click and hold on the basic shapes tool, and then in the tool flyout that appears, go ahead and grab the arrow shapes. And then they all work really in the same capacity. The arrows, the flowcharts, the callouts, and all the rest of it. You would select the tool out of the toolbox and then head up to the properties bar up at the top and look for the shape drop down up at the top of the CorelDraw interface. Click on the drop down and then go and choose the particular shape that you want to create inside your document. Once again, I'll start off with the default here, this sort of basic arrow shape. And then all I would do is just click and drag out on my screen. And then as you saw previously, we have the red diamond, that red draggable node, right, which is going to allow me to manipulate this shape in some way, right? Maybe I want to create a very deep arrow, something like this, or maybe a very shallow arrow, something like that, right? It's really entirely up to you, right? And then every time I drag out a new shape, the tool resets itself, right? So anyway, they're very straightforward, very easy to work with, which is really a godsend when it comes to working with software. This is one area of working with a software application where it's nice and easy and intuitive. Right? Well, at least I hope you find it very intuitive and easy. If you want to give a few of these guys a test run, go for it there. We've got all kinds of options. Now, this is an interesting example because here we have this L-shaped or right angle on an arrow, and I actually have two nodes, two draggable diamonds. I have a red node here, and if I drag on him, I can see that he's adjusting the sort of the size of the arrow there, and he's also sort of controlling the depth of this one arm of the arrow. And then we have this yellow diamond as well, which is going to control the arrow in a different way. So he's controlling the thickness there and the sort of the depth of that arrowhead as well, something like this, right? So sometimes you'll see two diamonds, you might even see three diamonds. If you see them here in Corel, go ahead and drag on them and see what they do. Okay, great stuff. I'm going to show you one more arrow here. Let's give this last guy a try. He's pretty cool. So you're going to get something like this. Now there's an example of three diamonds. So there's our blue diamond. Drag on him to see what he's going to do. He's controlling the depth of the arrows there again and the thickness of the arrows there. There's the yellow diamond. If he'll let me drag on him, not really getting much of a result. There we go. Try dragging inwards on the yellow diamond to get a result there. I'll just pull my blue guy in there a little bit. There we are. He's controlling the sort of the width of the arrowhead, if you will. And then the red diamond, there's the size of that inner square. So lots of fun. Again, and very, very intuitive. I hope you're finding this very straightforward. And I hope you're finding it fun, too. It's lots of fun to draw out these different shapes and see what they can do. So there's your arrows, hopefully all good. Once again, I'm going to select everything, Control-A, hit the delete key on my keyboard to clear my page. And let's do one more together, and I'll leave the rest up to you to sort of discover on your own. I'm going to head back over to that flyout inside the toolbox, and I'm going to go and grab one of my favorites here, the callouts, the sort of comic book bubbles, if you will. And then once again, I'll head up to the properties bar up at the top, and we've got a few different options here. Maybe I'll start off with this fella here, and I'll draw out my little word bubble, my little cartoon bubble there. And of course, I can drag this diamond all over the place, and this diamond here is not only controlling the position of the call out arm, if you will, or whatever you want to call that, the bubble arrow or whatever term works for you, but he also controls the length, the distance, the depth of this little call-out arrow. So you can certainly monkey with that. And there's all sorts of different options. This reminds me of the Garfield cartoons. Whenever Garfield is speaking, he's actually thinking, right? Because Garfield doesn't actually speak, right? So you can certainly create this sort of an effect as well. So anyway, there you go. Tons and tons of additional tools and shapes to explore here inside Corel. Have fun with these guys.
To change your